Hey everyone, welcome to The Commons. My name is Cooper Ray, and I'm here with Stephan, and we're going to talk about Psalm 51. Be merciful, O Lord, create in me. Stay with us. Curtis, how you doing, man?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, man. Thanks for being here and for coming here and talking about this. I think what strikes me initially whenever we see this title, and be merciful, O Lord, create in me. It's from Psalm 51, but why the slash, I guess,
Okay, well this one's got, like me, I think, probably, has a dual personality. Has a little bit of a dual personality, dual functionality. Obviously with the Psalms, there's kind of, there's some Psalms that are common Psalms that work for any time, any season, basically. Actually, this one would be done a lot of times during Lent, or times of reconciliation. So maybe penitential seasons like Lent or Advent at times. But this was a common Psalm so they use the antiphon, be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned.
Right.
But you can also use it, create in me is also another sort of iteration of this that might fall in a week during Lent. So you may see, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me,
Right.
which is a mouthful, but
Sure.
To be able to put that into a psalm for Lent, it would be one of the weeks of Lent. So you got to look at you also have to look at the verses as well, because the common psalm verses are not completely exactly like the ones that you might see otherwise during a week during Lent.
So when it comes to this one, then there is the alternate. We're going to hear in just a moment the be merciful, O Lord. But then there's also the create in me. Can you just sing a little bit?
Put me on the spot, right on camera and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it goes, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Something simple that a congregation can sing pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that also strikes me about this is that I think the way that it's the psalm itself, it captures. It's not just there's an edginess to the way that I think that was the way that you wrote it, from the standpoint of I don't know. I feel like there's a cry out. And I think that you really captured the emotion that perhaps the psalmist was getting at.
Right, and that's the thing, like, if you look at the Psalms, they're filled with emotion.
Right.
I recently just was speaking with an expert in chant, and he was talking about how the chants even should emote, should really capture the emotion. So when I take a Psalm like this, I try to enter into what the backstory is. We all know the story of David and his fall from grace in a way, and how he was really sorrowful. And this is a very common psalm in the sense that it's when we talk about reconciliation. But so we want to capture that emotion, to try to get that cry, from the heart, so that the people can pray the emotion of the psalm as well as just the simple words. If we're just praying the text without any emotion, it kind of defeats the purpose of having music in the first place, is to heighten all of that and to paint the text in a way that words cannot otherwise, just do by themselves. So that's the goal. So I tend to, like, when I write a psalm, I'll speak the psalm many times. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. So I'll pray that a number of times and just kind of let it roll off the tongue, because I think that's kind of what people tend to be able to do anyway. Or, create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Like, there's a certain flow, an ebb and flow that comes with the words of a psalm. So I just try to do stuff in keys and ranges where people can sing it. So it, a note might go up, or it might go down if we're looking downward. It depends on kind of how you feel the psalm, to a certain extent, what the words are saying.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting what you said about speaking the psalm first
Mm-hmm.
from the standpoint of, what was the psalmist, what were they feeling at that moment? And, you talk about creating me a clean heart, oh God, you're coming from a place of vulnerability and saying, I have sinned. I am, almost of humility. I think of Peter falling on his knees and, go away from me, Lord, I'm a sinful person. And yet he is there to pick us up and say, stand and sin no more, and I think that's where the Psalms really cry out, and allow us to bring that emotion in. And I don't think it's something that maybe as every Sunday churchgoer would necessarily think about, oh, we're singing the responsorial psalm now, rather than it being, hey, we're going to pray this, and this is going to be something that it really speaks to me more than just these words that are on page, but something that should be coming from my heart, because we all come from these places of brokenness and needing and wanting God to bring us to a place differently than we are right now.
Yes, this music is there to elevate the message, to elevate this to a point where it really sinks in. I mean, even, from the science of the brain and the heart and all the things that we know of our body, like to really integrate this in our lives. So we remember Scripture, we would do it in a way, we would write and craft a song so that people would remember it, so, that when you are in a sorrowful or desperate, a vulnerable, place where you're really trying to, you need forgiveness and you need that, like that something would remind you of this, be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned, so that the melodies fit the idea of what's happening. It kind of goes, be merciful. And we reach up to God and it just like, look down upon me, Lord, for I have sinned,
Yeah.
And it's almost like your head falling down,
Right.
So our Psalms, we want to always try to put that emotion into it. I mean, not emotion just for emotion's sake, but so that people can understand what the heart of that prayer really is. Because that is a heartfelt cry.
Right. That's great. Thank you for breaking that open for us. And now, if you wouldn't mind, would you sing it for us?
Sure. Yeah, let's go.
Awesome.
Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. 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 Have mercy on me, God, in your kindness. In your compassion, blot out my offenses. Wash me more and more from my guilt, and cleanse me of all my iniquities. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. For I acknowledge my offense, and my sin is always before me. Against you alone have I sinned, and done what is evil in your sight. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Give me back the joy of your salvation, and a willing spirit contained within me. Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall proclaim your praise. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned. Be merciful, O Lord, for we have sinned.